Good evening, I'm Emma Jane Vere and this is Television Tonga News. In the headlines, His Royal Highness Crown Prince Teboho Ulukalala attends Teboho College's 148th anniversary celebrations. All government primary and secondary schools cancelled today due to the heavy rain. And an unusual occurrence surprises visitors at the Homer blowholes. These and more stories, including news from the Pacific, sports, world and the weather forecast later on in this bulletin. Let's take a look at the news in detail. Teboho College Toloa marked its 148th anniversary in a sermon over the weekend. The school shapes young men to fulfill their obligations to the royal family and uphold their Christian faith. Here's Sinilatu with the details.
The Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Teboho Ulukalala, was present at the program as the guest of honour. Also officiating at the ceremony was the Honourable Minister of Education and Training, Dr. Ana Taufi'ulngaki, Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. Isaac Keke, principals and students from other colleges, amongst many guests. In the sermon delivered by the General Secretary of the Wesleyan Church, Reverend Dr. David Tahavea, he says the hermit crab has always been a symbol of Teboho College. The hermit crab is not Teboho College. Teboho College is just one of the empty shells. The hermit crab is not the church or the Wesleyan Church. The church is the one that produces the shells. The hermit crab is Tonga, and Tonga should feel safe in the shell that it chooses to hide in. If Tonga chooses the shell that is produced by the church, then the aim of establishing the school has been achieved. The General Secretary reminded the principal and the school that Teboho College was established for the royal family to study there, to prepare men to honour the royal family and other tasks, and to also uplift the Christian faith amongst many other important aspects in life and the Tongan tradition. He urges Teboho College to help promote those important tasks, as it is the things that will keep Tonga. The program continued to the ex-students' annual general meeting and other programs.
The Honourable Prime Minister Lord Divano hosted a half-day government retreat session for cabinet ministers and their chief executive officers. This was held at the Whanelua Convention Centre to discuss the roles of their respective portfolios. Here's Sinilatu again with that report.
The retreat is a one-time opportunity for cabinet ministers and top-level officials to meet and discuss various issues and challenges faced by their respective portfolios. Through the incisive dialogues shared between the participants, the purpose of the retreat was to provide constructive solutions that will charter a way forward for the year ahead. The outcome of the retreat concluded with the introduction of the strategic agenda document by the head of government, Lord Prime Minister Tuivaka, which will guide the last year of term for this government administration. This document articulates government's top strategic programs and most significant programs to be achieved in key sectors that will improve the living standards of the people of Tonga. These key sectors are infrastructure, energy, climate change, skills development and national employment, tourism, agriculture and fisheries, telecommunication services, and the fight against NCDs. On the agenda, the purpose of this year's retreat is twofold. Firstly, to reflect on the past achievements of the current administration, and secondly, to underscore what more can government do to meet its primary objectives in order to enable a smooth transition for the next government administration in the upcoming general election of November 2014. The retreat was divided into 3 sessions. Sessions 1 and 2 consisted of various presentations undertaken by the Ministry of Finance and National Planning on the current social and economic development indicators in Tonga, followed by presentations by guest speakers from private sector enterprises who were invited to participate in this year's government retreat.
A 44-year-old man from Utulau died while he was driving to Hofoa. Police say this happened on Saturday night. Information from Viola Hospital suspects that his death was caused by a heart problem. This happened around 1 o'clock Saturday morning when the deceased was returning with his niece from a Tongan Gava club. The niece told the police that they were talking while he was driving when he suddenly went quiet and the vehicle swerved to the roadside. She then sought help from a home nearby who reported the incident to the police. Investigation into the matter continues and a post-mortem was scheduled for today. Since the sinking of the MV Princess Ashika in 2009, which claimed the lives of more than 70 people, the New Zealand Pacific Maritime Safety Program has been assisting Tonga with its maritime programs. The Pacific Maritime Safety Advisor Tony Parr confirmed this during a presentation of marine equipment to the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Internal Affairs, Honourable Samiu Vaipulu. Anasiu Falekaono was there and filed this report.
The assistance was handed over to the Deputy Prime Minister at the New Zealand High Commissioner's office. Honourable Sami Vaipulu thanked the Maritime Safety Program for their assistance. These donations will be used by the staff and the survey team together with ships that can carry out navigational survey along Tonga's waters. Ports Authority and the Marine Department will look after these items. Part of the task carried out by this equipment can help ensure a safer departure and landing to its destinations. Meantime, the advisor says part of the assistance program includes training and technical support for surveyors and provision of safety equipment.
Subsequent to that, the New Zealand Government identified a fund which could be spent on maritime safety across the Pacific, and Tonga is part of the focus for some of that expenditure. Now, we've been working very, very closely with the Marine and Ports Division here from the Ministry of Infrastructure about putting together a program of assistance to improve maritime safety in Tonga. And part of that assistance has been helping with the capability and the capacity of the Marine and Ports Division to be able to carry out its functions as a regulatory authority.
The assistance includes personal safety gear for ships surveyors together with specialist tools and instruments necessary for surveyors' works and others. The assistance worth more than 50,000 per anga. Attending the program was the High Commissioner of New Zealand to Tonga, His Excellency Mark Talbot.
Niuwha'o residents are also lending a hand to the relief efforts underway in Ha'apai. They've raised 4,000 ba'anga, which was presented to their Parliament representative, the Honourable Minister of Public Enterprises, Fe'au Vakata. This in turn will be presented to the people of Ha'apai. Niuwha'o's government representative, Sayam Onu, confirmed this to Television Tonga News this morning. He says Niuwha'o also sent a boat to Ha'apai to help distribute assistance and aid to the outer islands. More than 4,000 new voters have registered for this year's parliamentary elections. Electoral officers continue similar work in the outer islands. Here's Linda Filiai with more on that story.
The Supervisor of Election, Peter Voki, says electoral officers have gone out to all villages in Tongatapu and Vava'o to register all voters who are eligible to vote in the parliamentary election at the age of 21. Similar work has been carried out in Ewa and plans are underway to continue to Ha'apai in the two newest. Electoral officers have to collect relevant information for the election, such as name of voters, including those who have passed away or migrated overseas. We need to upgrade our list and remove those names from the list. Mr. Vuki says more than 40,000 names were registered for the 2010 parliamentary election and about 90% actually voted in the election. Since the last parliamentary election in 2010, we continue to update information about names registered for election. We completed visiting all villages in Tongatapu, but it does not mean that the registration for election is closed. So far, we have registered more than 4,000 new voters for this parliamentary election. Mr. Vuki says upon completion of their work, they will publish the draft of the registered names for the election and amendments to be made before the final list for election is published in September this year.
Niuwha'o's wharf has suffered much damage after it was destroyed by heavy swells in past weeks. Niuwha'o's government representative, Sayam Monu, told Television Tonga News that they've sought assistance from the CEO of the Ministry of Infrastructure to repair the damage, as it's important for boats and ships visiting the island with goods. School was cancelled today for all government primary and secondary schools, including Upwha'o College. This is due to the heavy rain this morning. An announcement was broadcast on Radio Tonga 1 at about 8 o'clock this morning, informing all students and parents of the decision. Anasiu Falekaono has the details.
These are some of the government schools that cancelled their school day today. Meantime, the Free Wesleyan Church schools continue as normal today. Information from Tonga's Meteorological Office says this morning's rain was recorded at 19.4 millimeters in Whaamotu and 11 millimeters at the Nuku'alofa area. Yet this has not exceeded the average amount of heavy rain in Tonga, which is an average of 15 millimeters. Speaking to Television Tonga News, the principal of Apifo'o College says that the school had to be cancelled today due to the thunderstorms and heavy rain this morning.
An unusual incident surprised visitors at Homa's blowholes on Saturday. Some of the witnesses said they saw a light from the sky which was reflected on the sea surface at the blowholes, causing bubbles to form into an oval shape. This in turn caused a spiral pattern to form which was similar to a small tornado.
The South Pacific medical team under the Mali Mali project were at the Homa blowholes last week when the incident occurred. Dr. Fusi Fifita told Television Tonga News they witnessed the spectacle for about 10 minutes. Around 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, we went sightseeing. We visited the blowholes when we saw this funnel-like cloud circling into a cone-shaped column extending downward from the face of the cloud and touching the sea. It formed into an oval-shaped water spout. Other witnesses said they were taken by surprise. I was afraid at first, then I was fascinated, as this is the first time for me to see such a thing.
First time I saw tornado, so very fantastic and interesting. But so if we saw the tornado, so maybe runaway is first choice, but very far. Then I took the photographs. Yes, I saw the first time my life. It's a very miracle. So because on the sea, running the way, running the fast, but many water. Coming, only water.
That's the local news. Pacific is up next.